So here and then now in this inaugural session, we also have the holy presence of Swami Advayananda ji, Chief Acharya, very important Acharya in the Chinmaya tradition. I would now like to request Professor Nagaraj ji to introduce Swami Advayananda ji for in this before he delivers his benedictory address and blesses us with his talk.
Namaste, Pranam Swamiji. Swami Advayananda of the Chinmaya International Foundation began his spiritual journey with the Chinmaya mission at the young age of 18. Inspired by Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda, he joined Sandipani Sadhanalaya and was bestowed Diksha by Pujya Gurudev himself in 1992. He was initiated into the Holy Order of Sannyasa in 2003 by Pujya Guruji Swami Tejomayananda, the head of the Chinmaya mission. While he served the mission initially at their centers at Kodaikanal and Trichy, Swami Advayananda took charge of the spiritual and cultural education at Chinmaya International Residential School, Coimbatore in 1996. After sculpting the lives of a generation of young adults, he became Acharya of the Sandipani Vidya Mandir in 2000 and conducted the Vedanta course in Tamil and English for young monks. Since 2003, at CIF, Chinmaya International Foundation, the research wing of the Global Chinmaya Mission, Swami Advayananda has overseen a significant expansion in the research publications and home study courses of Chinmaya International Foundation. An accomplished teacher of Vedanta, with many Gita and Upanishad Jnana Yajnas to his credit, Swamiji has authored several books such as the Holy Gita, Ready Reference, a course in Advaita Vedanta, and research articles titled Vedanta Unveiled, a series of articles, Tapovan Prasad. He has also edited Vedantic works in English and Sanskrit, including the Foundation Vedanta course, a course in Bhagavad Gita, Ishvara Darshanam, and Sukti Sudha. Swami Advayananda was part of the team that researched and coordinated the Upanishad Ganga, a Doordarshan teleserial produced by Chinmaya Creations. He also served as Acharya of the 15th Vedanta course at Sandipani Sadhanalaya, Mumbai. Most recently, Swamiji has overseen and co-redacted the publication of the 2-volume Brahma Sutra Chatussutri Shankara Bhashyam, a profound and student-friendly English translation of the Adi Shankaracharya's commentary on Brahma Sutra with a detailed exposition that is extensively footnoted from 10 sub-commentaries. Sandipani, I request Swami Advayananda ji to deliver his inaugural address to this conference. Pranam Swamiji.
Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswati Namaha. Om Shri Guru Namaha. My most loving and respectful regards to everybody here. It is such a joy to be present for this conference on Hindu meditation traditions and techniques. I did hear, as I was attending the program, of the wonderful papers that are going to be presented. I wish all congratulations to the INDICA Academy team. And so first of all, hearty congratulations to the INDICA Academy and special regards to Sri Hariji, Nagarajji, Jayaramanji and everybody. As I was attending the program, I came to know of the very excellent papers that is going to be presented. That's a very great delight. The word dhyana and such an important word in all the Indian traditions, and what then to speak of the mother of all the Indian traditions, the Hindu tradition. Right from beginning, not just everywhere, the importance of human mind is very well recognized in all success, in all achievement. You have a very ancient story in the Mahabharata where people go and complain to Dronacharya that is very partial to Arjuna. And because of which alone Arjuna is able to excel well in archery. So Dronacharya smiles, and then there is an incident where he organizes for all of them a certain competition. He places a bird made of cloth right on top of the tree branch there, right on the top, and then he requests each of his students to come and try their hand at hitting that bird right on top. So he first invites Bhima to come, and then he asks Bhima, "Come on, hit it." So Bhima takes the aim, and as he takes the aim, Dronacharya standing near him asks him, "What do you see?" So Bhima tells, I see the tree. Then what else you see? I see the branch. What else you see? I see the pigeon. Then what else you see? I see all my brothers. And then Dronacharya says, "Now come on, you just move, next person." Like that, each one is called. And then you have also Duryodhana. What do you see? I see the pigeon. What else you see? I see the leaves. What else you see? I see the sun behind. What else you see? I see you also. Then this kind of, he says, now now one after each one, Arjuna comes, and then Arjuna, what do you see? He says, I see the eye of the pigeon. I see the eye of the bird. What else do you see? Nothing. Do you see anything else? He says, nothing I see. Shoot. And the moment Arjuna shoots, definitely it hits right at the eye of the pigeon, eye of that bird, and that bird made up of cloth falls down. You see in all traditions the importance of human focus. This ability to focus the mind is called dhyana. Now, as you go see the various texts of the tradition, you will find that this word dhyana is given so much of importance in every aspect of human endeavor, especially, of course, every aspect of human endeavor, no doubt, but especially also in the spiritual context. You have Patanjali, sage Patanjali defining the various terms. Dhyana is a state which is preceded by dhyana. And dhyana is a state which precedes another state of enormous concentration and focus and absorption, which is called samadhi. So you have dharana, then you have dhyana, and then you have samadhi. Sage Patanjali, he defines dharana, desha bandha chittasya dharana. Ability to hold the mind strong to a particular point of focus. That is dharana. And then defining dhyana, Sage Patanjali says, tatra pratyaya ekatanata dhyanam. The thoughts which is made to focus in dharana, when it becomes pratyaya ekatanata, pratyaya is thought, ekatanata is one single flow. what sometimes is termed as sajatiya vritti pravaha. Pravaha is also flow. And sajatiya vritti pravaha, a single flow of thought of the same nature. The thought, next thought is also the same thought. Next thought is also the same thought. In this way, when there is a pratyaya ekatanata, when there is a sajatiya vritti pravaha, that is called as dhyana. So initially you get the mind to hold to one object of focus, concentration. And when you hold it, and then you make the thoughts flow of the same object, then that is termed dhyana. Dhyana further progresses into absorption. Now, Sage Patanjali, he defines tadeva. Tadeva means what? That very dhyanam itself. That dhyanam itself matures and graduates to become samadhi. Tadeva arthamatra nirbhasam. Swarupa shunyamiva samadhi. And then, you see, in what happens when we are in dhyana, you are focusing on that object of your attention, and then the thoughts are maintained by you. There is an effort involved. But then in absorption, what happens? When effort is involved, what happens? You are there, then the object of meditation is there, then the continuous flow of thought about the object of meditation is there. In other words, the practitioner, the object of focus, and then the thought about it, which we term as triputi. Nyatru, Nyeya, Jnana, Bheda. Here the Dhyatru, then the Dhyeya, and the Dhyana. So you have this triad of the meditator, meditated, and meditation. Yes, there is a continuous flow of thought of the object of meditation, and you are enabling it with effort. But there is a state further wherein this triad also ceases. That very dhyana, tadeva, arthamatra nirbhasam. Arthamatra nirbhasam means what? That only the dhyaya, the object of meditation, remains. And swarupa shunyamiva. In meditation, you have an effort. In dhyana, you have that effort. But here, what has happened? Swarupa shunyamiva. That iva is important. As though. Iva is as though. Swarupa shunyamiva. It becomes effortless. It becomes thoughtless, so to say. What do you mean it becomes thoughtless? It is like this. Suppose a person, an artist, and the artist is painting. Now, initially, what happens when the artist is starting that work of art, is painting, there is a awareness, I am painting. And then the object of painting is there. And then one puts an effort. All those things are there. But as the person becomes involved into it, then what happens? At that time, only that painting is. There is no feeling, I am painting also. In other words, the attention is so much drawn into the object of meditation that only that object of meditation shines in all effulgence and all fullness. This is termed samadhi or absorption. And thus, if you look at this concentration itself, if you look at this focus itself, if you look at this dhyana itself, it has an earlier stage of dharana. It has a stage of immense attention with effort. And then it progresses into a state of absorption, where the object of meditation supershines. And then dhyana reaches its perfection. Now, when we speak of dhyana, one more important word which should be looked into, and that is upasanam. Usually what happens, the dhyana, what we are doing is upasanam in its manifold forms. Sri Adi Shankaracharya, in his commentary on the Bhagavad Gita, he defines what is upasanam. He says, upasanam nama yata shastram upasyasya arthasya vishayikarena samipyam upagamya taila dharavat samana pratyaya pravahena dirgakalam yad asanam tad upasanam. Now, this is a Sanskrit definition. To explain it in English, what is upasana? Upasanam nama. What is upasana? Upasana is defined as yata shastram, as the Shastra enjoins, as per the guidance of the Shastra, yata shastram, upasyasya arthasya vishayi karena. When you can comprehend that object, what ought to be contemplated upon, vishayi karena, by comprehending that object, samipam upagamya. That upa is there, right? That upa means samipam. You have reached into the proximity of the object of meditation. How have you reached to the proximity to the object of meditation? By comprehending that. But then, okay, you are comprehending it, and then what? Taila dharavat. Taila dhara? Taila dhara is when you have that flow of oil. How does the oil flow? The oil flows because it is viscous in nature. The oil flows without any kind of break. Taila dharavat samana pratyaya pravahena. The thoughts of the object of your contemplation, how is it? Taila dharavat, it flows. Samana pratyaya pravahena. The same thought is repeated and there is a flow. In this way, dirgha kalam, for a sufficient duration of time, yad asanam, your proximate sitting, you are sitting down. Sitting down is not physical. Here sitting down is that the mind has become established in that single flow of thought. This is called as upasana. Now later on we can see this, when we talk of upasanam, here again the upasana can be divided into so many forms. In the spiritual context, that upasana is divided into saguna brahma upasana and nirguna brahma upasana. Now we can see how, you find in the Kaivalya Upanishad a description of how this upasana is done. Vivikta deshe cha sukasanastaha shuchis samagri shirashariraha atyashramasta sakalendriyani nirudya bhaktya swagurum pranamya kritpundarikam virajam vishuddham vichintya madhye vishadam vishokam achintyam avyaktam anantamurtim shivam prashantam amrutam brahmayonim tatadi madhyanta vihiram ekam vibhum chidananda marupa madbhutam uma sahayam Parameshwaram Prabhum Trilochanam Nilakanta Prashantam Dhyatva Munir Gachati Bhutayonim Samasta Sakshim Tamasah Parastat. So, how it is to be done? Vivikta Deshe Sukhasanasta. Sitting comfortably in a place where you will not be disturbed, where you will not be called about for this or that. It is a time when you are devoting yourself for this practice. Sukhasanastaha, sitting in a way in which you can transcend your mind. If you're sitting in a very uncomfortable posture, then what happens? You cannot withdraw yourself from the body. At the same time, you are sitting in a posture where the energies of the body and the way you're sitting is so comfortable that there's no question of falling down or tripping down. Such kinds are not there. So therefore, sitting in a way in which you can shift your attention from the body, and then in your heart, you're meditating You are contemplating upon the Lord. Uma Sahayam Parameshwaram Prabhum Trilochanam Neelakantam Prashantam. So in this way, the physical attributes of the Lord are also given for you to hold on. And at the same time, the nature, the true nature of the Lord as Vishuddham, Vishokam, Adi Madhyanta Vihinam, free of infinite, free of beginning, middle, and end, free of any kind of sorrow or all those mental modifications. In this way, you worship the Lord, holding on to the support of the physical features which the Shastra describes. Yata Shastram. Upasanam is always as the Shastra describes. So you hold on to it as the Shastra describes, and then you merge your attention in that. So these are called Saguna Upasana, Saguna Brahma Upasanas. Because the Lord you are worshipping is with certain qualities. Uma Sahayam, Parameshwaram, Prabhum, Trilochanam, 3 eyes, etc., etc. If you can go through these texts, you will see how the Saguna Brahma Upasanas are described. The Vishnu Sahasranama also you have. Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gagana Sadrisham Meghavarnam Shubhangam. Shantakaram, of peaceful form. Bhujagashayanam, lying on that mat, lying on the bed of the snake, Adishesha. In this way, various qualities are given. Now these are physical. Now you see. Vishwadharam, Gagana Sadrisham, Meghavarnam Shubhangam. So Vishwadharam, he is the Bhagavan Vishnu there. Narayana is the substratum of the entire world. Now the true nature of God is also given. So the physical aspect is given for you to hold on, because we are used to the physical. So the physical becomes easy for the mind to hold. Then even as you holding to the physical, shift your attention to the physical and go to the reality aspect of the Lord. This becomes Saguna Brahma Upasana. Now, among the Saguna Brahma Upasanas, when you many Saguna Brahma Upasanas are there as per the form of the deity. You can take Devi, you can take Subramanya, you can take any form of deity as the Shastra describes, and then you can meditate upon. And you will find in all of them a certain physical aspect is given for you to hold your attention. And then the truth of the Lord is also given for you to lift your mind beyond the physical and go to that reality aspect of the Lord. So this is Saguna Brahma Upasana. Nirguna Brahma Upasana, Saguna with the gunas. Nirguna without the gunas. Now, that is also given. When you say Nirguna Brahma Upasana, what is meant? It is meant Brahman, the ultimate reality, in its absolute nature, of the nature of pure existence, pure consciousness, and supreme bliss. This is the true nature of the Lord. This is not the guna. Guna is a property. It is nature. So what do you mean guna and what do you mean property? Suppose I take some water, and in the water I have some color put. Then I can say it's a blue colored water, or I can have a red colored water. I can have a green colored water. That is guna. The color can come, can be more, can be reduced. But the nature of water is H2O. That is nature. Color you can increase or decrease. But nature, you cannot increase or decrease. It is H2O ever. The same way, the ultimate reality is of the nature of Satchidananda. That is nature. That is Swarupa. It is not Guna. It is Swarupa. When, very subtle. But when you can lift your mind to that subtlety, and hold on your attention to that ultimate. For example, Pratasmarami Hridi Samspuradatma Tattvam Sachit Sukham Paramaham Sagatim Turiyam Yat Swapna Jagara Sushuptimavaiti Nityam Tad Brahma Nishkalamaham Nacha Bhuta Sangaha. Or, for example, the famous Shivoham Shivoham Satchidananda Swarupoham Asangoham 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 Punah Punaha. Now, these are all what? These are all Nirguna Brahma Upasanas, which is a little bit tougher. But yet, if somebody is keen about that way, then the Shastras also give you that variety. Now, among the, we have seen now Saguna Brahma Upasana, Nirguna Brahma Upasana, we have seen. Among the Saguna Brahma Upasanas also, there are some very, very specific Upasanas which are called Ahangrahopasana. Now, what is this Ahangrahopasana? Ahangrahopasana is when you take, see, what are you doing in Upasana? In Upasana, you are worshipping, you are meditating upon the Lord in the spiritual context, meditating upon the Lord as distinct from me in Saguna Brahma Upasana, right? Now, in Ahangrahopasana, what are you doing? You are not keeping yourself away from the divinity that you are contemplating upon. In other words, what is happening? You are making yourself also part of the divinity. You are making yourself, the individual also, as part of the divinity. Not keeping yourself separate, but merging yourself in the divinity, and that way you are contemplating. This is called as Ahangraha Dhyana or Ahangraha Upasana. The famous example which we can see in Shiva Manasa Puja, Atma Tvam Girija Mati Sahachara Prana Shariram Griham Pujate Vishayopabhoga Rachana Nidra Samadhi Stitihi Sanchara Padayo Pradakshina Vidahi Stotrani Sarvagiro Yad Yad Karma Karomi Tattadakilam Shambho Tavaradhanam. So here, how is the Upasana done, you see here? You are telling Lord Shiva, what are you telling? Atmatvam. Oh Lord Shiva, this self in me is you. Girija Matihi. And Girija, Parvati, your consort, who is she? This Matihi, this mind of mine is that Girija. Prana, the very pranas are your sahachara, or your sevaks, my pranas. The prana, apana, vyana, udana, etc. All of them are your servants. Is your devalaya. Shariram griham is your devalaya, is your abode. Now what is happening here? You yourself, you merge in the divinity and you worship the divinity. Not just worship, you contemplate upon your divinity, on that divinity that way. Now these kind of upasanas are called as Ahangrahopasanas. There are other Ahangrahopasanas also. For example, Ashtamurti Brudupasana, where all the 5 elements, then the sun, the moon, and the individual, all of them are considered as form of the Lord. If you go to the Ishavasya Upanishad, you will find Sambhuti Upasana, Asambhuti Upasana. A lot of these Upasanas are there. And they are all very, very special. Why they are special? Because you take yourself, you put yourself into the divinity and remove that individuality. You merge yourself into that. These are called Ahangrahopasanas. Now, as we see this Upasana and all those things, if you just go to the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, you will find the statement, Atmavare drashtavyaha. You must realize yourself. How? Shrotavyo, mantavyo, nididhyasitavya. By Shravana, by Manana, by Nididhyasana. Shravana is the understanding of the scriptural import from the Guru. Manana is reflecting upon that so that doubts end. And Nididhyasana is now this is now we are going from this Nididhyasana. What is this we are talking of? This is a little different from the upasanas what we saw so far. This is also dhyana. This is also meditation. But this is very different. Why this is very different? See, now what I have here is a kerchief. Okay. Now, suppose I look at this kerchief and I say this is kerchief. Now, what is happening here when I say this is kerchief? This is kerchief is not my mental Shastra given idea. Example, let me give a simpler example. Suppose you take, when they say Shalagrama Upasana or Shivalinga, Shiva, worship of Shiva. Take this worship of Shiva. Then in Shiva worship, they have the Shivalinga. Or in the case of Bhagavan Vishnu, they have the Shalagrama, which is a stone from the river Gandaki. Or Shivalinga, what do you have? You have a stone. Or even Ganesha, what you take a little turmeric and then you make a conical thing and this Ganesha. Now here, the Shastra is telling you. The Shastra is telling you the stone you worship as Vishnu. It is stone. You see the stone. But what are you doing? You are saying this is Vishnu. The Shastra has given you the tip, what is to be done. And based on that, you are doing. And then you are worshipping continuous flow of thought of Vishnu. It is Vishnu, Vishnu. Now that becomes Upasana. Dhyana of the nature of this Upasana. Now, when I see this kerchief, I am seeing this as kerchief. This is revealed to be kerchief by what? By my own eyes. In other words, the knowledge this is kerchief, even though I maintain this is a kerchief, this is a kerchief, this is a kerchief, this is a kerchief, this has nothing to do with my mental thinking. Yes, this kerchief is a thought of the mind, no doubt, but the thought of the mind is generated through the means of knowledge, the I, and here it is not because the Shastra is telling me. In the case of that Shalagram, in the case of Vishnu, I take a stone and worship it as Vishnu. I take the stone and say, this is Lord Shiva. You see here, based on the guidance given by Shastra, I am doing it and I have to create that thought myself. Even though I see the stone, I create a thought in myself saying, this is Vishnu, this is Shiva. In other words, you are placing a higher notion on a concrete object which is different from that. But you are doing it based on Shastra injunction. But here, when I say this is kerchief, then what is it happening here? When I say it is kerchief, the idea this is kerchief is generated by my means of knowledge. I myself see it as kerchief. It is not that I see in this kerchief Ganesha or, Lord Shiva. No, kerchief I am seeing as kerchief. In the same way, after I listen to my Guru's teaching about the nature of the self, Shravana, after I have no doubts about it, Manana, then I meditate upon myself as what? I am that ultimate Satchidananda, existence, consciousness, bliss. This is what? This is knowledge per se. This is not thinking this to be something else. This is knowledge per se. Now, this is called as nididhyasana, which is again a dhyana. But this dhyana is not based on your mental construct. This is based on the knowledge. Even though it is a thought, yet it is based on knowledge itself and knowledge alone. This is called as nididhyasana. So thus you see various varieties of dhyana. Saguna Brahma Upasana, Nirguna Brahma Upasana. This is all dhyana. In Saguna Brahma Dhyana, you have a very unique type called Ahangraha Upasana or Ahangraha Dhyana, the fruit of which is considered to be Krama Mukti. That is a different topic by itself, but the fruit of it is considered to be something very high called Krama Mukti. And once you understand your nature through Shravana and Manana, and then you maintain a continuous flow of thought of that nature, then that becomes nididhyasana, and that gives you liberation here and now. So the ultimate, the doorway for liberation, Jivan Mukti, is also dhyana. And dhyana of various natures, the Saguna Brahma Upasanas purify the mind, make us single-pointed. Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Ekagrata they provide. And with that, one goes higher into Nirguna Upasana, which is again a dhyana. And then one comes to Nididhyasana, which is again a dhyana. So the entire path, the spiritual path, is paved by dhyana. Such is the importance of dhyana in the tradition. Such is the primacy of this spiritual practice. And this itself is considered to be the highest tapas. The Mahabharata would say, Manasascha Indriyanam Aikagryam Paramam Tapaha. This kind of focus of the senses and mind into the single object of focus is itself the greatest tapas. In fact, it is said, the Lord also created this whole universe by tapas of the nature of just comprehending in a single thought the entire creation. Satapo tapyata, satapas tattva, idagam sarvam asrujata, tapasa chiyate brahma. In this way, you find plenty of references in the Shastras, in our tradition, in the Hindu tradition, in the Upanishadic tradition, in the Vedic tradition, in Sanatana Dharma tradition, about all these various aspects of meditation. So, with these few words, thanking all of you who are present here, and wishing you all the best for this wonderful conference on dhyana. And I invoke the Lord's grace, my own Guru Pujya Swami Chinmayanandaji's grace and blessings, and the grace and blessings of all saints and sages who have nourished this great tradition, our great tradition of Hinduism, and who have shared with the whole world this beautiful technique of dhyana or meditation. So invoking the grace and blessings of all saints and sages, and wishing you all the best. Thank you very much. Hari Om.
Namaste, Swamiji. Pranam, Swamiji. That was an excellent exposition of dhyana, particularly from the Hindu perspective, because the characteristic Hindu aspects like Saguna Upasana, Nirguna Upasana, all these were focused on. In actually, this talk itself took us into a dhyana about dhyana. It was Taila Dharavat, we were focusing only on dhyana. So well organized, focused on the characteristic Hindu aspects of dhyana. And now probably the audience and the faith representatives also have got another word, upasana. Upasana as synonymous with dhyana, and a very shastric exposition of the whole topic was done by you as a guidance to all our panelists, Swamiji. Pranams, and grateful to you for this exposition. Namaskar.